Oh, take these words and sing out loud. Let everyone. Because tonight's the night the world begins again. You're such a freaking piece of, and you're such a freak piece of. We'll find better days. 94, Travis, Amos, Tom, Daniel, number one, Jeff. What's up, gang? All right, I was going to do this last night, but, I got a little wrapped up. All right, so I want to talk about the 12-volt options out there, the 12-volt platforms. You can add Bosch to this. I just didn't kind of, get them involved here. And to be honest with you, with Bosch, they're really, I don't know what's going on with their 12-volt platform. They haven't added a new tool in quite a long time. They're putting out tools maybe 1, 2 a year. And again, their last one has been probably a year ago. I think the last brushless tool, or the last tool that they might have came out with, I think was that little planer, right? I don't even know. I think that's brushed. It don't matter, brushed or brushless, but they're also in this category. And of course, there's some other players in there, of course, skill. But I'm talking about, with this video anyway, the major brands. All right. And pretty much the two major brands now are Milwaukee and Makita. Now, if you've been following my channel for the last 4 years, whenever we kind of brought up the 12-volt stuff, you always heard me say, well, I don't know who's number two. Obviously Milwaukee's number one, but, Makita's starting to come on. It's close between them and Bosch. Well, that is long, long gone, because Makita has probably around 100 12-volt tools now. Over the past 12 to 16 months, they have released a plethora of just 12-volt tools. And, whether it's 12-volt vacuums, 12-volt weed whackers, just crazy tools, really, that, these other manufacturers besides Milwaukee haven't done or don't make, right? But we know about Milwaukee's platform and the pros and the cons of it. It's the biggest out there, right? No doubt about it, right? Well, talk about these guys, all right? They got, from 1.5 amp hour all the way up to 6 amp hour batteries. The only other 12-volt platform that has it 6, I believe, is Bosch. All right. And it's funny because they are another torpedo styled platform, or post. Okay. Technically, they're called post batteries, but we're calling them torpedo. All right. So the cons of the Milwaukee platform. Now, the pros, we know, huge platform, tons of tools, a lot of sales, a lot of brushless tools in their 12-volt. All right. They got a plethora of brushed and brushless. The one con, and you hear me talk about it a lot, and it's really only with their power hand tools. I'm talking about, the impact wrenches, the drill drivers, the hammer drills, the impact drivers, is obviously it's a post or a torpedo battery. So obviously when you insert your battery, right, it goes into the handle. And for a lot of people, they don't like the feel. They don't like the comfort aspect of some of these hand power tools because it's just a very uncomfortable grip. All right. It's wide. It's, not as thin. So, if you have smaller hands, it's just not as comfortable. But, that's basically, the major downsides to that. Now, with post batteries, remember, you're going to get a little bit better connection than slide-on packs. All right. But, does that make it more, you guys know my feelings. I like the slide-ons a lot better. I think they're a lot more versatile in ways that these post batteries just, you're very limited with certain aspects of the battery, and obviously the huge size difference. All right, this is a 4 and this is a 4. And I can show you Makita's 4 too. All right, and here's Makita's 4. So, obviously a much bigger, if you're storing these, whether in a bag or in a hard case, this is going to take up a lot more room. I mean, you can almost put 2, even more than 2, 2 slide-ons that take up the same size as one post battery. So that's, that's the biggest thing with them. All right. Then we come over to Makita. Again, I'm going to kind of run through these pretty quick, but obviously Milwaukee is the leader. No one comes close to them in the amount of tools that they have in the platform, a wide variety. I mean, everything's there. But Makita's catching up to a degree. They've really exploded, and we'll talk about them next. They've done a lot, but when it comes to Makita, they offer the slide-on packs. Now, if you're familiar with Makita's 12-volt line, really 10.8, but we'll just call it 12, and we'll talk more about that in a second. But they used to be post batteries as well. Okay? The problem with Makita's old platform, the old white 12-volt batteries, right? Or the old 12 white volt tools. The old white volt tools. Yeah, that makes sense. The old 12-volt white tools is the biggest battery in the platform, and the only battery in the platform was a 1.3 amp hour battery. So, I mean, I love that little 3 3/8 saw, right? But you cut 2 pieces of plywood and the battery's dead, right? So I had to go off market, and I got a 2 amp hour battery for like $17, really cheap. That helped a little bit, but they knew they had to get out of that. They wanted to, expand. They really wanted to invest in the 12-volt. They started a whole new line, and this came out around 2 or 3, probably around 3.5 years ago now. And they also have a 1.5 amp hour battery, but this is the new Makita 12-volt line, and this is the battery. Really compact batteries. The tools, guys, are, especially this holiday season, CPO and Amazon, we're practically giving this stuff away. All right. So some really good pricing on a lot of their 12-volt stuff. Again, they have a lot of brushless tools. They have a lot of brushed from, like I said, vacuums, from a weed whacker. Okay. A weed whacker, 12-volt weed whacker. All right. They got a SDS, a brushless and a brushed version. It's very simple too, Makita. They didn't really have to go crazy with this 12-volt platform with a lot of their tools, and really a lot of their best-selling 12-volt tools, because they're basically subcompacts. All right? If you look at the subcompact line from Makita and the 12-volt brushless Makita, they are identical in performance and specs. All right. Now, obviously, one runs with a 12-volt battery and one runs with an 18-volt battery. But spec-wise, if you look, whether it's the impact, the hammer drill, the drill driver, some of, even the SDS, they have an SDS that's 12-volt, and they have a subcompact, right? It's basically just different batteries. All right. But again, definitely now the number 2 platform in the 12-volt genre. Okay, so they have a lot of tools. They've grown it really quick. Um, to be honest with you, this skill has a lot of. They're probably the number 3 player all of a sudden. All right, and I might be missing someone else, but skill has just really hit that 12-volt platform as well. I didn't include them in this. Again, I took the major brands, the more premium brands, but Makita is an option for you. So again, if you like the slide-on packs over the post batteries, this would probably be your second choice. Okay, Makita. If you're talking about amount of tools offered and great performance, Makita, very well respected brand out there. All right, then we'll go over to our Dewalt. Now, Dewalt and Milwaukee are true 12-volt platforms. All right, so this is a 12-volt platform. All right, the Makita, the Bosch, that's not here, and Mr. Metabo here. All right, these are 10.8 volts. Okay, I mean, you can see the big difference. We'll talk about these. Probably one of the best batteries I've ever seen out of any platform is right here. But we'll talk about that. You got 21,700 cells in here. Someone asked a couple weeks ago, you think any brand will come out with a 12-volt battery that's 21? Are they going to move to the 21,700 cells? And Metabo did in 2019 with these LIHD batteries, but we'll talk about them. All right, so DeWalt, again, has been a player in the 12-volt line for a long time. Actually, probably the first company to really invest in the 12-volt line. All right, now, you heard me talk about it for years. They came out a long time ago, again, probably one of the first, if not the first, and they came out with a lot of cool tools. The problem, they didn't innovate. They stayed very stagnant with those same 12-volt tools for like 10 years. All right. They didn't come out really with any new tools. They were just still selling your basic, drill, impact driver. They had an impact wrench, I believe, a 12-volt, a hammer drill, some other small stuff. There was probably around 10, 11 tools in it at most. Just, the basics. And though, a lot of people have them. I mean, I know a lot of people with these old DeWalt 12-volt tools. Lowe's still sells them, but they didn't invest in their 12-volt platform. They just said, this stuff's still selling pretty good over at Lowe's. Someone, we're going to live off our name until we have to do something. All right. Then comes 2019. They come out with the new Xtreme 12-volt line of tools. And right from the get-go, a lot of buzz was going on with DeWalt's new line. One being very, very appealing tools. They came out with around 6 or 7 tools. They already are starting to add to it, right? They just came out with the one-handed hacksaw, right? That just came out about a month ago. So the first impressions, very cheap tools. I mean, you could get 2 batteries and an impact wrench with a charger for $99. All right. And these are brushless tools with speed selectors. So again, right off the bat, they were really killing it with this 12-volt line. The batteries are really awesome. Now with them, you only have a 2 amp-hour battery and a 3. All right. Now, definitely, most certainly, they're going to come out with some bigger batteries over time. From what I have heard, DeWalt has been very impressed with the sales of their 12-volt line. It's doing very well, from what I have heard. And I can honestly believe it. I know a lot of people, bought this stuff when Lowe's, and they still have great deals on this stuff. It actually went back down to $99 again. So really hard, okay? Not for nothing, this right here, all right, the Metabo, you get 2 4s, all right? You only get 2 2s, but you're looking at a set, and it comes with a charger as well, but a hard case instead of a bag. But you got a DeWalt, $99 for their brushless drill driver. Okay. Or you can go, well, we'll say hammer drill. Their hammer drill might be a little bit more than, let's say 119. All right. $229. So it's almost half the price from a Metabo. All right. But you remember, you do get 2 4s instead of 2 2s. But again, you can't, no, we run some deals with the Milwaukee stuff, but regular MSRP for the hammer drill, right? Milwaukee's hammer drill right here. Their new Gen 2 with a 4 and a 2 is $199. So $199 versus 100, again, half price. So they're very cheap. All right. They are, they're almost in Makita's, even though Makita's MSRP of some of the stuff, it really doesn't exist anymore. They've been really discounted. And to be honest with you, Makita has a lot of 12-volt stuff, but it's really not that popular. I'm glad, I was wondering, I can't believe they're still coming out with a lot of new stuff in this 12-volt line. It could just be in the United States. It could just be, my interpretation. But I don't know too many people that are in really Makita's 12-volt line. I always try to, people, oh yeah, they got a great deal on the, the brushed drill driver and impact driver from Milwaukee at Home Depot. It's $129. It's on sale. It's usually $149. I always say, no, go spend $99 and get the Makita. It's $30 cheaper. They're a lot newer tools. Remember, they're still selling these 8-9-year-old brushed drill driver and impact driver, and the same torque numbers. So I always try to get them to this $99 brush set. Now, the one thing with Dewalt, getting back to them, is they are expanding, and they're really smart. I think they're doing it the right way. They don't have any brush tools. All right. Now I'm talking about the Xtreme. All right. They still have the old, and I would really think that's going to be discontinued pretty soon. Their old 12-volt line from Dewalt here. But anyway, I think it's great because I'm going to be honest with you. Most people don't really want brush stuff anymore. It's just, it's 2020. Obviously the brushless tools have come down a lot. And they're really not much more than the brush stuff. I mean, you can look at Bauer stuff, $79 for their drill driver, right? Or their impact driver, bare tool. Right? Or let's just say $99 for the kit for the Bauer or the Hercules, whatever. Obviously over Christmas, you can get a brushless Milwaukee with a 2 amp hour battery, or a Makita brushless, or a Dewalt for the same price. So, but I think they're smart. I think they're eliminating a lot of waste, a lot of profits. This stuff's just going to sit. No one really wants it unless you come out with a real cheap price. And how cheap can you go? With Dewalt, you can get their drill driver, impact driver kit for $149. All right. 2 batteries, brushless. You can't beat it. Now Milwaukee has come down a little bit, where you can get their impact and their drill driver. Actually, you get a hammer drill. So that's a plus with Milwaukee. But, it used to be $229. Remember? $229. Then it went to $199. All right. So now it fluctuates between $199 and $179. And again, the Dewalt is $149. So it's close. Remember, let's just say it's $50 more. Let's say the Dewalt is $149, the Milwaukee $199, the Dewalt $149. You're getting a 4, all right, instead of 2 2s, and you're getting a hammer drill over a drill driver. So that might be worth the extra $50. But I'm happy to see Dewalt is already expanding their 12-volt line. All right. So this is only going to get better and bigger with time. So we'll have to see. But a great step up from Dewalt in the Xtreme. Now you got something on the more, more of the basic generic premium brands. Now we're going over to the Metabo, and this is not the HPT, the rebranded Hitachi tools. These are the pure Metabos. And again, what they did with this battery, it's awesome. And you know, I want you to see, because I did a lot of if you saw the Metabo video, guys, I did a lot of drilling, a lot of stuff that wasn't on camera. But you know, using spade bits, using auger bits, you know, regular drill bits, and probably a good 20 minutes of using it, drilling it, different applications. And again, you got 21700 cells in here, and I still had 3 bars after using this thing, you know, pretty hard, you know, doing hard, really stuff that this shouldn't do. All right. But let's talk about the Metabo. So here is the Metabo, and this is a 4 amp hour battery. So you got a 2, you got a 2, and this is another 4. And let me get Milwaukee's 4. So this is the big advantage to the slide-on packs. All right, is the size of the battery that you can do. Now, could these Post batteries or Milwaukee ever come out with a 21700 cell in this? I don't know. I don't even know if it's possible. It might be. Probably, definitely it is. You know, you're going to, obviously the bottom would be this wide, right? And then you'd have to maybe put, you know, they got 3 batteries here. You might only be able to put 2 in here. But obviously you can do it. But again, it's just going to make this even bigger than what it is, right? With the slide-ons, again, this is a 4 amp hour battery with 21700 cells. I mean, it's so tiny, light, and they did a great job with it too, designing it. You got these nice rubber overmolds, just really thick plastic. You got 4 bars on the selector. All right, really nice battery. And they also have a 2 amp hour battery, which looks pretty much like the rest of the 2s, but a little bit wider. All right, now this is a new platform from Metabo that came out also in 2019, probably around 10 tools. You know, you got a hammer drill. Now they have brushed and a brushless line. All right, so in all, they probably have around 10 to 15 tools that came out. You got a brushless hammer drill. And I'll start with the brushless stuff. All right, again, you got the basics. You got a brushless impact driver, brushless drill driver, brushless hammer drill. You have something where you could take the chuck off, kind of like a, you know, you could put an offset attachment on it, kind of like the installation tool. You got something like that. You have a little power source that just came out, a 12-volt power source to charge your phones. They got this, I think, little like jigsaw. And then they got some brush stuff, right? They got a brushed impact, a brush drill driver. So, you know, between 10 and 15 tools just kind of came out. But it's a very expensive, again, $229, guys, just for the hammer drill. Their impact driver. Now, I got this for $87 from Amazon. I think CPO was the seller, but, you know, it was I bought it from Amazon. So, I mean, it was absolutely no brainer. You know, you got 2 4s, a hammer drill, and a charger that charges 12 volt, 18 volt, and 36 volt. A really, really cool charger and a hard case. But their impact driver, hammer drill combo kit is $299. So $300. That's the killer. All right. And, you know, I was really impressed with this only because of the power and the size. Well, mostly, I don't even want to say the power's I mean, you know, the power's good, but mostly the comfortability, right? It's just a really comfortable hammer drill to use. Now, it's only a 3/8. That's another bad thing about it, right? You know, Milwaukee, this is a 1/2-inch drill driver or hammer drill. I also believe their regular drill driver, which they do have, you don't see it much, but they also have a Gen 2 drill driver. I believe that's also a 1/2-inch. So this is only a 3/8. So to spend $300, you know, and the line is small, right? It's a very small platform. Don't know how big it's going to get. Obviously, I can't recommend Metabo really to anybody. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think they are what they used to be to a degree. They're still great, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're worth that premium. Back in the day, when Milwaukee wasn't as good, right? Since TTI kind of really bought them and really invested in them and brought them back to this crazy tier. Um, but whatever. Dewalt was kind of, Metabo was always, considered a more premium. I don't think they're worth the price anymore. I think these other brands have come up so much with the technology, with the engineering, with the durability. Again, you got a 5-year warranty, 3-year with Dewalt, 3-year with, well, you got a year with Dewalt, and then 2 years limited. You got a full 3 years with Makita. Bosch also 3-year. You get a 3-year with Metabo, but now you got Skill, right? They got a 5-year they're offering. So these other companies are kind of coming in too, but all are you can't go wrong. I think they're all good lines, right? Obviously, DeWalt just came out. So if you're really looking for a lot of, different types of saws and, inflators. Well, actually, their inflator might be a 12-volt inflator too. I don't remember. But, and a lot of this, like their charger right here. This is the old DeWalt 107. This battery works in here. I can charge it right from here. All right. So they were very smart. Oh, thank you, Sean. Sean, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, they designed the new batteries to fit with their old charger, which is great. But they're coming up, all right. But it's really hard to recommend. But don't a lot of people don't use a lot of this other stuff that Milwaukee offers too. Obviously, the basics are there with every brand. All right, whether it's Metabo, Makita, Bosch, DeWalt, Skill. You got the basics. All right, and that's what most people need. Obviously, Makita and Milwaukee offer a lot more stuff, and I'm sure DeWalt is going to be adding a lot more stuff too. But take Metabo out of the picture because it's again. If this wasn't $87, I wouldn't even be talking about this because it's pretty crazy for a 12-volt, right? I mean, I can get an 18-volt Milwaukee Fuel 18-volt, right, for $229, an impact driver and a hammer drill, right? I've seen it as low as $249 for the Fuel, right? So for another $20, and this is a 3/8, it's nice, it's cool, but way out of the ballpark. And again, I don't think they're worth that premium anymore. But they're all good, guys. Obviously, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to tell you. Obviously, gun to my head, I'm going to tell you probably if you're looking for price wise, if you're looking for the amount of tools, if you're looking for the warranty, you're not going to beat Milwaukee. All right. I am, I'm expecting big things from DeWalt with this 12-volt line. All right. So I think they're going to have a lot more competition. And again, coming from what I've heard, they're really doing pretty good with this Xtreme. We're going to have to see. But I would probably recommend, I mean, again, I would go with the Makita. Me personally, I'm not telling you. I'm telling you, probably Milwaukee makes the most sense. But for me, I like the slide-on packs. All right. I love the tools. Every 12-volt tool that I've gotten from Makita has been awesome. Really it's the fit and finish. It's the smoothness of the Makita. I don't, and it's really the price too. I mean, they're just so darn cheap. They come out, they're full price, and then within 3 months, they're almost 40% off. I mean, that vacuum that came out, right? They just came out with that 12-volt vacuum. I put it on the website. I talked about it on Instagram. it was $149 when it came out. All right. 3 months later, I saw it at CPO for $89. All right. So I don't know if it's not selling. I don't know, but the prices just really, they had the SDS, guys. The SDS Makita. Now they had the brushed and the brushless they offer in a 12 volt. But you saw the deal of the day. I did it back in probably September, where you could have got a SDS and a 4 and a 2 amp hour battery for $99 and a charger. All right. And the brushless was like $179 with a 4, a 2, and a brushless SDS. The prices are just, they drop really quickly. But guys, like with every brand, there's going to be some tools you like better from Milwaukee, some tools you like better from Dewalt, some you like better from Makita, some you might like better from Ryobi, right? Like the Ryobi Vac, you might love that, or Rigid, you might like something from Rigid, like the miter saw. So, they're all good. In closing, to end this, whoa, Shaka, thank you, brother. Mr. Israel, what's up? Sam, thank you, my man. Sam made me something awesome. I'm going to premiere it this week. We're going to be able to do a lot more stuff from it inside here. And, I should have opened it a while ago, but I was away. But it was more of an indoor where we couldn't go outside and really test stuff because there's snow and ice. And so Sam hooked me up. I asked him, and he did. But in closing, guys, you can't go wrong with any of them. And you can add the Bosch to this too. They're all good, solid platforms. All right. Milwaukee's definitely number one. No doubt about it. Right. And they got the best warranty. So that, it's really hard. Like I said, I like the Makita 12 volt stuff, but, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to make, I don't know how they're doing. It's really hard to unseat the champion in the 12 volt platform. I think that's why they've had to discount a lot of their stuff just to kind of get it in people's hands. And once they get it, they might like it. And, but Milwaukee is the king of the castle, obviously, when you put everything together. Again, I would be recommending these, no doubt. I wouldn't even have to do this video, but again, it comes down to the battery, the post batteries. That's the biggest killer for me. And not that it's a killer at all. I'm just saying, I like the slide-on packs better, so I would tend to like these brands more than this. All right? Obviously the powers here with the Milwaukee, the warranty, the amount of tools, no doubt about it. But when you put the size of the battery together and the feel of the grip after you put the torpedo or the post battery in, they're just not comfortable tools for me to use. I really never grab their impact, and I think their impact was not that great, even though it has a lot of power and it's really compact. I had issues with it. I dropped it in water, and it still really don't run right with the selector. I like the Gen 1. I mean, has a more comfortable grip. But that's just, the power hand tools again. When it comes to the other stuff, Milwaukee just is a dominator, right? They got the inflator. They got stuff where, the grips don't really matter, right? Whether, it's their SDS or their circular saw, then it's not that big of a deal. But, when it comes to the main, our favorite drill driver, hammer drill, impact driver, impact wrench stuff, I think there's an advantage to the slide-ons, but that's about it. And, getting back, you got the stubby. None of these brands, they have an impact that says they do 200 foot-pounds. Baloney. They got one. They got a couple. I mean, they got a quarter inch. They got a 3/8. They got a half inch. They got brush. They got brushless. I think they rate their brushless at like 150 tops. Their half inch, 12 volt. So obviously the stubby is an amazing tool, and I would take that over any impact wrench. Probably one of the best impact wrenches on the market. All right. It's that awesome. I love it. But, you know, a lot of different things to, you know, examine when you're looking to get into one of these 12-volt platforms. But number one on your list should always be the Milwaukee, and see how it goes. All right. Thank you for joining me today. No one knows what's up. Thank you, man. Hopefully we're going to be at a depot. Sean, again, thanks to EJM in the house. Mr. Israel. Einstein. Shaka, thank you, my man. Rick Marino, what's up? Jay, what's up, Jay? Scott D, Edward Jackson, Jason Jordan, where the hell have you been? My phone's going to die here. That's why I'm ending this too. Thank you. Logan P, Kess Diggs, my brother Kess, Aaron Repper, Bill, Billy, Tammy, Bill E, Michael B, Koneman Studio, Daniel Gomez, of course. Thank you all. Tom Sardo, Jim Rice, the man, my fan. Walter, John ABA, John Spitzley. Thank you guys for coming in, guys. I should be at Depot later. We'll check out some new stuff, but hope you got something out of this. We'll catch you on the flip.